I want to make a couple of things clear at the start of this video. One, I'm not a fan of Alex Salmond. Never have been. No specific reason, just the guy rubs me the wrong way. Just not a fan. Two, I am not a patriotic Scot. I believe a person should be defined by the actions they take and the principles they uphold. And whilst I agree every nation has its own identity, that identity should be informed by the people in it, not the other way around. With that said, I just want to make a quick video saying why I'm voting yes, because I know I'm bombarding everybody's feeds with wee memes and stuff like that. So I figure I'll just put stuff out there in a wee quick snippet, and if people decide to watch it, fine. If they decide to ignore it, fine as well. But it might stop me posting everything all the time. The main sort of motivation I had for this video was I got a letter in from No Thanks from Mr. Darling himself. Got to me after the second debate. I don't know when it was typed up, but in it he goes on about the things that they keep going on about. No plan B for currency. I think that dead horse has been flogged endlessly. There is several plan Bs. If the country union doesn't go through, we've got the 18 months after independence to iron out what that's going to be from the other options. They will seek advice from experts. They will more than likely seek the opinion of the Scottish people, and we will decide what's best going forward. He's also got going on again about the oil. The exact line he's got here is, if Alex Salmond is wrong about his oil figures, how will we in future generations afford to pay for our NHS, our schools and our pensions? Well, it won't be just coming from oil. They've stated this so many times. It's a percentage of our revenue, but we have other avenues where money comes in. We've got food and drink, tourism, manufacturing exports, science and creative industries. On average, they bring in about £41 billion a year. That's before we have filled a single barrel of oil or put any gas through as well. So we do have substantial resources to cover what we need to do. And you've got to remember as well that currently we are giving so much down to Westminster every year and getting a portion of that back. So we're already working on a pretty tight budget. So if we've got complete freedom over that budget, I'm sure we can do a lot better job with it. That's the sort of main things they keep talking about. And then, but my reasons for voting yes, very quickly. I don't believe that Westminster has Scotland's best interests at heart. They've had 30 years to prove that. They have not done it. We are we're their back pocket funding neighbour. That's all we are. You see enough when you see the sort of slips of the tongue for people like Boris Johnson, how we are perceived, how they think of us. They do not want us to stay together as some sort of move of altruism. They want our money. Simple as that. They want our money. They want to keep taking from us and giving us a little bit back. Scotland is a small country. We are just over 8%. We make up just over 8% of the UK population, and yet we put in 10% of the UK's tax revenues. How is that fair? Because we certainly don't see anything for it. I don't want Trident here. I'm in complete understanding and have nothing but sympathy for those who work there and believe that they're going to lose their jobs. So those guys, if they're voting no, I can't blame them. You've got to look out for number one, and I understand completely why they would do that. However, they keep trotting out this figure of 8,000 jobs. There are not 8,000 jobs there. If they continue with the Trident programme over the course of, I think Alistair Allen said 5 years or something like that, they will create more jobs. So we're not going to lose 8,000 jobs because the people who will be employed in those jobs in the future are currently already working somewhere else. I have no doubt that if Trident goes, there will be people who lose their jobs. But the other thing you've got to consider is that if we go independent, there are going to be other job opportunities created just by the certain shackles being lifted from us. As it is now, Scotland cannot accept commercial contracts for shipbuilding. That's why the shipbuilding industry has died. If we are independent, we can start the shipbuilding industry again. We can do all that all over again. There are going to be more job opportunities. I have no doubt of that. but I don't. But when I look at it from my perspective as being someone who will not be affected in terms of employment by Trident, we don't need nuclear weapons in Scotland. We have no gripes with anyone in the world. We are not a target for anyone. The only reason we would be a target is because we house nuclear weapons. Um, they're never going to be fired. They are not a deterrent. As I said, the fact that they are there makes us a target, so let's get rid of them. And the fact that they're kept in Scotland kind of says to me everything about what I mentioned earlier about Westminster's attitude towards us. If I would ask us of any no voter, if they could look me in the eye, regardless of what the reasons are for voting no, if they can honestly say to me they think that Scotland will prosper and thrive under a continuing Westminster government, I think they're deluding themselves. They might have their reasons, they might believe certain things, if you stay with the status quo, better the devil you know, and that sort of stuff, fine, if that's what you believe. But if you can honestly tell me you think that down the line Scotland will be a better country for staying with Westminster, I'm sorry, you're deluded. That's just never going to be the case. We will never be the top priority for Westminster. We are the only way Scottish people will thrive is if we are the number one priority of the government who runs us, and the only way that will happen is with a yes vote. If we vote no, we will be the first country to have rejected its own independence. Countries all over the world fight for their independence with bullets and bombs. We are being given a democratic option to do this. If we vote no, we will be looked upon by the world as a callow and listless province of the United Kingdom. You would not be able to stand and sing Scotland the Brave at any football game or rugby match or anything like that with a straight face, because we will have proved unequivocally to the world that we are the exact opposite. We will have shown that we do not believe we are capable of governing ourselves, that we do not think we have the resources and people to properly exploit those resources to make this country better. That is what a no vote says to everyone else. It also tells Westminster that we are completely reliant on them, and that we don't think that we can go on without the backup of big old England to help us. I choose to think differently. Scotland are an articulate and intelligent country. We have given the world so many things over the years. We have so much more to give, but we are restrained by the shackles of this union. And I don't use the word shackles to impose some kind of image of slavery, as some might. I use that word because it is the most apt. We are being held back by this union. There is so much we cannot do because of this, and there is so much more that we could do if we were governing ourselves. It all boils down to that question on the ballot paper. Should Scotland be an independent country? There is no question of can. David Cameron has said on TV, I've seen it myself, and many others have said, they have no doubt Scotland could be a successful independent country. So if David Cameron has no doubt we could be a successful independent country, why should you? He's the one saying we'd be better together, but he admits that we would be better apart. I don't know if I've changed anybody's mind. I hope I have. If not, then carry on regardless. I'll be voting yes on the 18th. I hope you'll join me, and I hope on the 19th we can all celebrate as an independent country.